Hello, good morning or good evening to everyone. And today we are going to paint sunflowers. All right. Hello, Melissa. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you have bread. Wow. Love that. Okay, anyway, so today we are going to talk about sunflowers. And as you can see on the screen, we have the reference photo. So that would be a reference photo. You can download it on the description box. You can check it, or you can also see it on the link on the Facebook event page. So there you go. In this lesson, we are going to talk about the perspective of a flower or sunflowers. Aside from that, we are going to use a very limited palette today. And before we go to the tutorial itself or the perspective, I will run through on the materials that I am using on this tutorial. So we have only limited palettes. So I will be using these colors. These are Sepia. You could use any dark brown that you have or any browns like burnt umber or Van Dyke brown. You could use it. Orange. You can have also Viridian or any green that you prefer, and yellow. So my yellow is a mid yellow, not too light like the lemon yellow or not too dark, but it's just a mid yellow color. It's yellow. These colors are from Shinhan Pro, these three, and Shinhan PWC. Those are Korean watercolor brands that are also professional brands. Okay, also in this tutorial, I am going to use just one round brush from Silver Black Velvet. You could use any round brush that you have, or you could use any that you would like to that you are comfortable with. I am using size 6. You could use size 6 or size 8 or whatever size you're comfortable with. Okay, I am using a ceramic plate for my mixing. For my paper, I am going to use the Bao Hong Academy watercolor pad. This is a block. If you are going to use loose paper, you can also tape it out, tape the sides, because before block it's already glued on every side. Okay, and also have my rug here. You can also use a pencil or watercolor pencil for sketching, and also an eraser. Okay, so before we start with the tutorial, I'm going to show you the reference photo again and the perspective. The you can also download this flower perspective. I put it also on the description box to download it, and then it's for free. So you have free step-by-step tutorial here on YouTube, and you can get also free downloadable lesson. Okay, so here the first part is the first part on the upper left. It is like a facing you sunflower. Okay, face of a flower that is facing you. Okay, all you need to do is the technique in getting to know the perspective of a flower is looking at the core itself. Okay, so that is what you can do, is to look at the core. So the middle here, the center on the core, or the smallest round that you can see on the upper left, is the core itself, or on the or when you look into the reference photo, that would be, let me show again, that would be the darkest part on the flower. So that's it. And then second the second circle that you can see would be the the other that it would be the round near the near the petals. The outside round here, the biggest round that you can see there would be the end of the petal. So we will be drawing also. We will be also drawing w- up to where you can paint the flower. So I will be removing this, but I will be discussing the ref. I will be discussing here. I will be just using my iPad for drawing. Okay, one moment. Okay, so looking to perspective, I hope you can see it. Okay, it's too bright. One moment. There you go. Okay, so the first round would be that would be your the core. This is the darkest part of our sunflower. The next part, if the sunflower is facing you, that would be this is the sides of the core, and the last part would be okay. Pencil is very different to the apple pencil. Okay, so the last round would be for the petals. So if you're going to paint the petals, okay, it will be up to there. And the petals of the sunflower are overlapping. I will teach you how to do that in watercolors. So that would be for the center of the sunflower. And I will be teaching you how to do this. The other perspective would be if the sunflower is facing that side, okay, and so your core would be like this. So it will be facing there. The darkest part here, the petals are here. Okay. The petals will show small here in this part. The petals will likely show big in this part and flowing going down here on this part. So that would be if the sunflower is facing there or the upper left. Okay. What if, okay, I will remove this. Okay, so what if the sunflower is facing up? Okay, so that would be the petals are here. You could draw lines going down like a cone, and the cone, I'm sorry, the core is here. The petals are going up like that. So the petals on the sides would look like this, and some petals here as well. Okay, if the flower is, like for example, facing on the left, for example, facing on the left, most likely you won't see the core, but you can draw a cone like this or a triangle. This would be the core would be here, the petal would be here. So these would be the petals, and you would see sepals here. Okay. So in the reference photo that I shared, it has different angles of the sunflower. Okay. If you need to do the replay for the sunflower perspective, you can also do that. And you can also download the reference photo and also the guide that I provided for you. So I will be painting on the right side. I will do some of practices here for the petals, and I will do the swatching. If you are using loose paper, you can also tape the sides of the paper. All right. What I do before I tape it down is I remove the excess residue of the glue on the tape before I tape it down. Okay, there you go. So first, I will be drawing the center first. Okay, so this would be the center. Okay. I'm using a watercolor pencil because it's easy to remove when the it's placed with the water. Okay, it's water soluble. All right, so these would be the four. The darkest would be the center, and that is why we have sepia. Okay, I will be getting some colors here. I pre-wet my paints earlier. Okay, I hope you can also post your work on the Facebook events page. We have a discussion part there. And you can also, or if you're shy to post your work online, you can also send it to me via direct message. You may also tag me on Instagram. My Instagram is at Mrs. B. Okay, I'll show that to you. Yes, my Instagram is at Mrs. B Santiago. Okay, so this is orange. I am going to mix the orange with the yellow also. I like sunflowers and it's cute to see them because whenever the sun rises, it's also facing the sun. If the sun is down, the sunflowers are facing down. Okay. So there's my yellow, and I am going to use Viridian. Okay. These are all Shinhan paints. These are all professional paints. And even if I didn't use these paints for a while, like for 2 or 3 years, they're still good. Okay. So first, the center. I will be just using sepia for the center. What I will do is I will just dab my brush to the center or to my paper if that is watery and if creates a puddle, especially if you are using silver black velvet or very smooth brush, you can remove the excess by you can remove the excess of the paint by tapping it on your towel or paper towel. Okay, so I will just add here. So I do not paint the center as a whole, but I just dab my brush there. I will also add some of the some on the center on the others, the outer core. So this is the just the core. We are not yet on the petals yet. Okay, but I will be doing it on the side for the final painting. Okay, I will rinse my brush. Okay, so okay there, and then remove the excess water. I will get yellow there, and I will just dab it. I will just dab it on the paper, mixing it with the sepia there. So we are painting loose, and if you are painting realistic sunflowers, that will take time because you need to draw and carefully paint those those small things in the flower. There you go. So that would be for the core. I will just let it dry. All right. Then I rinse my brush. I will paint a sample of the petals here. For the petals, I will just use yellow here. Okay. So that will be For simple petal, what you need to do is slowly put your brush onto the paper, slowly, and then drag slowly, and then press hard and drag your brush slowly going up. There you go. I will do it again. So I will make it bigger here. So I will drag my brush. So I will create a line using the tip of my brush, and then I will press hard and then slowly lift up. Okay, so I'm dragging my brush using the belly of my brush and then slowly lifting it using the tip of my brush. There you go. What you can do is you can also make two strokes of this. So I will make another stroke here on the right. So I will put my brush on the paper just beside this and then press my brush heavy and then slowly lift my brush. There you go. So you will create a petal, something like this. Okay, there you go. So if I press my brush heavy, it will create that fatness. Okay. And when you lift, okay, it will just show you just that. It's the same when painting leaves. But if you would like to create loose, very loose petals, what you can do instead of holding your brush here, you can hold your brush a little bit farther. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so I will put my brush, just the tip of my brush, and then drag, and then slowly press, and then slowly lift. There you go. What I will do is I will make another one here. All right. You can also wiggle your brush a little bit. There. All right. You can also practice this stroke. There you go. Let's do another one here. I will just, what I did is just upstroke here, just the tip of my brush. And then there you go. All right. Let's try another one here. So if you are going to paint the petals here. If this is wet, it's okay. Medium yellow, yes, it's medium yellow. Yeah, not lemon yellow. Yes, that's right. Okay, so if you are going to paint from the core, especially it's wet, it's okay if the colors will bleed. That's fine. There you go. There. Okay, let's do another one here. It's the same also painting with the leaves, so I won't teach painting leaves because it's the same strokes. All right, I will do it again. I wiggle my brush a little bit, and then another one here. If you're going to layer the petals on the sunflowers, you need to wait for the other petals to dry before you paint another one. So this part is dry, so we can paint on top of it, beside it, like this. There you go. Since watercolors are transparent, it will show you the another layer of the sun of the petals. Because if you won't wait for the sunflower for the petals to dry or the first layer to dry, it won't show you layers, but it will bleed. All right. So this how it looks like when you look closer there, it will show the first layer here and the second layer. So that's how you layer the petals. So when you layer the petals, make sure that the first layer is dry. Okay, so let's try. Let us draw here, and we are going to start painting. I will just rinse my brush first with the clean water. Make sure that you have two jars of water. So this is my dirty jar, and I have another one here. Viridian is a very staining color. So there, I will rinse my brush with Master's brush cleaner later. Okay, so first I will draw the center first here. So we have a center flower here. Okay, I will just use the okay. This would be my core, the inner core, and this would be the outer core of my sunflower. And like the out this would be up to where I would paint the petals. Okay, there you go. So that's it. And then on the other and then there's another sunflower here. I will paint the petals first up to where I will paint the petals. So most likely the next flower here it will overlap on the first one. All right, I will make my pencil lines darker so you can see. Anyway, I am using a watercolor pencil. I only use watercolor pencil when I am painting loose flowers because it's easy to dissolve by water. If not, I am using a regular pencil for any drawings or pencil lines. Like if I am drawing or I am going to paint landscapes, because for landscapes, I need to see where would be my horizon line. And if I will be using watercolor pencil, it will totally erase. So there. Okay. So this would be the core of this mm, sunflower. All right. So most likely it won't be look like a circle, but it will look like a sphere on this side. Okay. This part would be the sunflower that is like a bit open but facing upwards. So for the center, for the petals, it will look like this. So it would be an oval instead of a circle. I will draw the outline here, like a cone shape. There you go. And the core here. So I won't paint the core, but instead I will paint the sepals here. So this would be my guide. And here, another sunflower, but it's facing very upward. So there. Another something like this, but it would be facing up like that. So this would be another angle of our sunflowers. And another one that is facing on the left. It is On the reference photo, it is here, but you could put it on the other sides of your paper. Okay, so if the mason, okay, so that would be facing here. So it will just be a triangle and another line here for the sepal. So let's paint. Okay, there you go. All right, if that will be your final painting, you can remove the excess mm, graphite or pencil lines. I will erase this part. Okay. I'm using a kneaded eraser because it doesn't ruin your paper. So I also recommend using kneaded eraser. It's also easy to remove the pencil marks. There you go. I will just erase some of the lines. All right, there you go. So I will paint first the center. You can either paint the center first or the core, whichever you prefer, but I like painting the center first. So for my water consistency, it's a little bit flowy. So this would be in like mm, coffee to milk consistency. All right, there you go. So I have sepia. I will paint this one first. Okay, I will just dab my brush on the center and anywhere. It's just painting dots. There you go. Just using the tip of your brush. Avoid painting as the whole. All right, it will look flat. So it's better to paint just like dots there. And then I will also add some here. Okay, there you go. Okay, just dots. And then I will add yellow here, just around. There you go. I will rinse my brush and then I will move the excess water and then I will get yellow. I will add more of yellow here because I might run out. Okay, there. Okay, so I will add yellow on other part of the center and let the colors just mix together on the paper. And that is how you will let the watercolors work on their own, or let them do their job just to mix colors. There you go. If you have anything that you would like me to paint or would like me to do a tutorial, just type it in the comment section. You could also follow me on my Facebook page. That's Bianca Santiago, and you will also see there some my events and my upcoming tutorials. All right, there. So I have yellow there, and then I have yellow on my brush. I will drag some of the paints going outside from the core. Okay, so That will be the same. I will put my brush on the one of the core. I'll just let it breathe and then drag my the belly, going to lift slowly. There you go. And I will do another one here. Okay, so we have a big flat petal there. I will let it dry, and then I will put a space here. I will paint here on this side. Okay, and another one here. Okay, so I'm dragging the belly of my brush slowly, and also dragging some of the paint that we have here in the core. There you go. We draw also the circle so that we will know up to where we will paint the petals. All right, there you go. You don't have to draw all the time, but as for beginners, that this would be your guide. Okay, so I'm just doing two petals at the two petals there. Okay, or two strokes for one petal. There you go. You can also hold your brush a little bit farther and just relax your hand and it will create very loose stroke. There you go. And another one here. All right, this side is already dry. I will get more of yellow here. I will paint. Yeah, it's a bit wet. Okay, I will paint here first. All right, so this would be the second layer. There you go. I think this part is dry also. All right. So if you can see, there is overlapping of the petal there. If it's not dry, if it's still wet, the paints will bleed. So you just need to wait for the petals to dry, or the first layer at least. Okay, there you go. What I do also is I sometimes mix the yellow with the orange. So I will create yellow orange here. All right. That's why I put orange next to yellow so I can get yellow orange mix. And this is what I'm going to use here. I could also add yellow orange on other flowers here. I would just get the one that I have here. So it's a bit yellow. It's a bit orangey now. It's fine. I will put another layer here. Remember, you could also wiggle your brush so it will create a nice expressive petal here. If you're having a hard time with, if you're having a hard time in painting on that, on some areas, what you could do is you can move your paper around. It's okay. And whenever you're comfortable with. Okay. Because remember, when we are painting, and painting is should be relaxing, it should not stress you out. Okay, there you go. While some of the petals are wet, what I do is I grab a little bit of orange or yellow orange, and then I put a little bit there and let it bleed. I will clean my brush. Okay, so that would be the first and second layer the of the sunflower here. I will paint here, but this time I will remove some of the pencil marks. All right. So it won't look ugly after when it's dry. I just did not erase that much because of this tutorial. But most of the time, if I'm painting for just to practice or to sell my paintings, I remove as much as possible the pencil marks. There you go. Kneaded eraser doesn't ruin my paper. That's why I am recommend using this. Aside from that, if your paper is ruined or it has a lot of erasures, it's difficult to paint on that paper. Okay, so I will paint on the next flower here. I'm getting sepia here. Oops, sorry. All right. And then I will dab my brush here, just the core, using the tip of my brush and some here. Okay, there you go. And I will get some yellow. All right. It's okay if there's a little orange there, that's fine. I will dab yellow here and let the watercolors mix together on your paper. Okay, so we have the yellowish, brownish decor. Now I still have yellow, and then I will paint I will paint the petals. See, I will drag the paint from the core and let it bleed. That's fine. Okay, there you go. I will paint here. Remember to leave some spaces. All right. Another one here. Remember the petals here on this side should be shorter and this part would be longer. That's why. And then remember to wiggle your brush a little bit. There you go. So it will create some expressive brush strokes. There you go. And I'm holding the brush going towards the end. There. So here, this part, there you go. So this part is shorter. I will grab a little bit of orange. I'll put some orange on my yellow. So it will like divide. It will show division on the petals of here and here. All right. There you go. So that is shorter. Actually, this part should be like covering this flower by this part, but we're not yet done with the first flower. Okay, we're not yet done. We are going back to this later. Okay, there you go. I will get more of a yellow. If you're looking for some watercolor paints that is not very expensive, Shinhan is a good choice because they are professional paints, and I haven't used this for a while, like 3 to 4 years, and it's still good. Still has that creamy texture. Okay, I will get a little bit of orange from my mix. Okay, I will paint on top of this. All right. Remember to wiggle your brush to create some expressive stroke. Another here and another here. So with these two strokes of the petals, there. That's the reason that we leave some white spaces in between so we can paint an overlapping petals. There you go. All right. There. Another one here and here and here. There we go for the second sunflower. I will be going to paint this part first. Okay. So for this sunflower, it is facing that way, and you will only see the sides. Okay, so I will just paint the side first. All right, just small one stroke here. So what I did is I paint like going to the left. I curve my brush. I will curve my brush here as well. There you go. And then the middle part here. Okay, we're not yet done with this sunflower. Okay, I am going back to this later. All right, there you go. I will just let the petals to dry here. Okay, in this part, okay, there are some petals showing there and then showing also from the back and the front. So here's what I'm going to do. I will paint first the back sunflower petals here with my paint with a little bit of water, more water into it. So this would be light yellow, and then I would paint here, just going up. There you go, with a lighter color of yellow. There you go. I will just paint another stroke here. There. And I will come back later to finish this sunflower. Okay, this is a little bit still wet. Okay, same with this. Okay, I will paint the back petals first. For this one, since it is small, I will just paint one stroke. All right, there you go. Okay, so this is dry. We can paint with a little bit of orange there. And then there. So we can have that overlapping petals. There you go. We'll add more yellow to it. Okay, more yellow. So this mixture is more watery. This one has more paint, or this is like into milk consistency. I will get some of orange. Okay, and then I will paint. on top of these two petals. There you go. Same with this one. I'm still painting the back petals. I would use the color that is a little bit more paint. There you go. And same with this. All right. I will go back to this sunflower. Okay, with this sunflower, I will be adding some of orange. So we will mix a little bit of orange here. I will paint on top of this because sunflower says orangey color, and that is what we are going to do. Okay, I will paint on top of other petals. There you go. I didn't erase the pencil marks here, but it's okay. But remember, for your final painting, remember to erase the pencil marks, okay? I'm sorry. I didn't erase it because of this tutorial so everyone can see it. Okay, there you go. I will paint on top of this with orange yellow. There you go. And this one also. We will also put details later with the use of the tip of our brush. That's why I like using silver black velvet because the point is the brush is very pointy. That's why. Okay. And there, here, you can put some with the orangey yellow on other parts. I will cover the petals here. All right. Because these flower should be front instead of this. Because if we are going to paint the petals here, the petals of this will be covered. But there you go. I painted this flower first because it is the easiest to paint, right, than an angled flower. Okay, I have some orange here. Okay, I will just add some here because just to cover that part. I won't add more petals in this part, but I will just add more petals on the other parts of this flower. All right, like in this part. All right, and here as well. If you haven't seen my loose rose tutorial, you could also check it out. You could look into the live section of my YouTube page, and then you could see it. All right, so we're done with this. Let me add another one here. It looks like there's missing another petal on top of this. There you go. So I still have this orangey yellow here. I will add a little bit of one more petal here. Now let's go back to these two sunflowers here. So I will be using this orangey. All right, so it will look like it is have more color and it's in front of the petals from the back. Okay, I will paint here first. Okay, so this would be the sides there. So I wiggled my brush here to create that expressive stroke. I also will add on top here. So I will paint up to here. There you go. And also here. All right. If you notice, I did not paint in the center, and I painted just up to here only, not covering the petals at the back. All right. I leave some space in between so we could put another petal later. All right. So I will just let it dry. Now in this part, in this area, I will paint the sepals. So I still have my Viridian here. I will mix it with a little bit of yellow, or my yellow here. There you go. To make an earthy color of your green, you can also add sepia. There you go. I like adding sepia to my greens whenever I paint florals because it creates an earthy color. There you go. You could also add a little bit of blue or violet to your green mix. That's also good. All right, now for the sepals. Okay, it's the same stroke as the petals. Okay, but this time it is smaller. So I will just use the shape of my brush like this, like that, going downwards. You could also paint going outside. Okay, so it's up to you, whichever you prefer or wherever, whichever you're comfortable with. Okay, there it is. There. Very good. Could add a little. I'm holding my brush here, but I can hold my brush near the end so it can create more loose strokes like that. Okay. I will rinse my brush first. Okay, one moment. It's my laptop is going to die. All right, here we go. Whew. All right, there it is. So now I will be painting the last petals on those sunflowers. I will get the orangey color of my yellow. There you go. And then, okay, it looks like it has more. It has green now, but it's okay. Viridian is a very staining color. So there. I will add my stroke of my sunflower here. Okay, let me get another mix of yellow. All right, looks like I still have green on my brush. That's fine. Okay, there you go. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Because Viridian is very staining color. Okay, there. I will add another petal here. Okay. If you notice, I did not paint up to that part because this is facing you. All right. It's near you. These are the front flap petals. There you go. Now for the last parts, I will just paint the sepals here. I will paint first here. I'm going to hold my brush near the end. There you go. There, from the sepals there. It's okay if there would be some bleed of the colors there, that's fine. That's why I let the green there. All right. I will paint here in this part. the sepals here, and also the stems of the sunflower here. There you go. You can add more of the stems here, like stems of those, but it's just covering by this flower in front. Okay, there you go. I added Sepia also there. Now I will paint the leaves. Okay. I There are no leaves on the reference photo, but I would like to add leaves so that it won't be empty on this part to balance also our painting. Okay. The same strokes. It's just bigger and weakly leaves there. The sunflower leaves are big and weekly. Okay, there you go. I will add another one. Okay, so this is my mix of my Viridian. There you go. There. You could also add some of lines through flowing. There, like the sepals. There you go. You can add a leaf there if you want. You can add what you would like to add, like leaves, or if you would like to paint a bee next to it, that's also fine. Okay, now let's go to the details. I will be using the orange here, but it has a little bit of yellow. Okay, I will be using the tip of my brush. Okay, I remove the excess paint, and then I will just add some lines on some of the flowers using the tip of my brush. Or you can also just use orange. Okay, not too orange. There you go. Yellow orange is fine. You can also use orange, or you can also use like metallic paints, like if you have like metallics white or silver, or if you have gold, you can also use them to paint some details or some tiny lines using the tip of your brush. So for the lines, what I do is just the tip of my brush, like that. It's very thin. Okay, there you go. So if I will put it closer, this is how it looks like. So these is with the some of the details of some lines here. You could use gold if you want. You could use silver. You could use metallic white. Those are good colors to add for the details of these sunflowers. As of the moment, I do not have my metallic paint with me there, but you can add them. You can also add some on the leaves, some lines on the leaves with metallic paints. Believe me, if you use metallic paints on your painting, it will level up your painting more. Okay, so this is my final painting for this tutorial. All right, there you go. And if you are using a block, you can use Bao Hong. When you buy Bao Hong, most of the time, it will give you a free leaf blade like this. But if you don't, you could use anything that you can remove, like a flat thing, like a ruler like this, or a bread knife. You can also use that. Okay, I will remove my tape here. So if you use a loose sheet, you can keep it on a board and it's time to remove your tape. For, for me, I will it's time to remove a sheet. So if you are using a block, if this is the first time to use a watercolor block, most of the time you would see like a part where you can that is open. It has here open. So this is the part that is not glued, but all of the sides are glued. So you can insert. I will leaf blade and remove the sheet gently. Okay. So if you are using a block, you just simply paint on top of it, and you can remove the sheet after you're done painting. It's okay if you put some paint on the sides because those are glued. So it doesn't matter if you put some paints. All right, it won't have your the paper under it won't have paints. Okay, there you go. Last part. There you go. Let's remove this. Yay! Okay, so this is my final painting. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Since I use Viridian, I will be cleaning my brush with the Master's Brush Cleaner and Preserver. If you would like to know about that, you could also check my uploaded videos on my YouTube channel. It will help your brushes to remain beautiful, as pointy as is this, even if I have this for almost 2 years. So it's still pointy. I know brushes are expensive, but then when you use the Master's Brush Cleaner Preserver, it will help you to keep your brushes good when you buy it. Okay, so there you go. Here it is, all of the materials, the reference photo, and also the flower perspective guide is on the description box. Please check in, check that out. And if you would like to send me or show me your output for this tutorial, you can also post it on your social media, like on Instagram, and you can tag me on Instagram. That is Mrs. V Santiago. That is my Instagram. You can also follow me on my Facebook page, Bianca Santiago. There you go. And you could also check the events page there for my live sunflower painting tutorial. There on the discussion, you will see there a link to upload your photo. All right, that's it for the tutorial today. Next week, we are going to paint macaroons. All right, that is a little bit good painting because it will help us to know the shadows and how to express light on also on the food. All right, it's yummy, and I hope you would have fun on that tutorial though. So I'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.